Today's video is going to be on Yupo, specifically watercolor on Yupo. So this is a paper that's based on, out of plastic, I believe. And you can use watercolor, alcohol inks, acrylics, pencils. It's actually polypropylene, acid-free, and it's available from Legion as well as other companies. There is also another type of paper that's similar to this. It's called mineral paper. I think I might have an example here. Yes. Now I found that this is a little bit more absorbent, and so you can't wipe it off, which is the nice thing about Yupo. I'm still experimenting with this, and maybe at a future point I will do a video on it as well. But for today, we're going to concentrate on Yupo. I had a painting on this before, and I painted it at least over a year ago. So I took it into the sink and I washed it off. I just used a soft goat hair brush to wash it off because you don't want to scratch it. With Yupo, you don't want to get any of the oil in your hands on it, so it's very important that you handle it right at the edge. You can also tape the edge, but in order to secure it to your surface, a waterproof surface, of course, non-porous, you just wet it a bit underneath and put it down, and it will adhere to that. So you don't really need to use tape. The issue with tape is the paint will creep underneath it, at least with masking tape. So I had a painting on this before that was a tree. I'm going to do a tree again today because I've got kind of a nice background to work with for that. Yupo is a bit tricky in that depending on the color of paint you have, some paints push other paints out of the way, and some paints will flow easily into other paints. I've noticed, I believe this is Hansa Yellow, and I think also Quin Yellow or Quin Orange, it pushes other paints out of the way. The greens tend to flow quite a bit into other paints. I've experimented with granulating paints, but for this exercise today, I think I'm going to try using some of Rockwell paints and see how they operate on Yupo. So enjoy! With Rockwell paints, they are a Canadian company, and if you just want to try out some of their paints, they have some great little options. I think they still call these Cutie, where this is a set of 12 paints, and they have very granulating paints. So these greens, anything that starts with EM has great granulation associated with it. So that's a little Cutie. This is another little Cutie which has 24 colors in it, and you can actually request on their website the colors that you want for that. They also have these great packages where this one is called a Charm Set Self-Evolving Mineral Watercolor, and they have some beautiful colors here that are some of my favorite are this God's Back. I just love that. Elf Wings, Angel Eyes. So there are some beautiful colors. So we're going to try those today on our tree painting and see how that goes. Okay, so I mixed up a few of their colors. I'm going to start with this EM407 because it has a beautiful flowing yellow as it merges with the other colors. So this is going to be part of our tree. We'll probably have the sunlight on one side. So let's say the sunlight is going to be on this side. And then we have their EM131, which is their green. We're going to put that on. With Yupo, when the paint goes on, it has to be pretty thick in order to get any effects that you may want out of it. So I'm just making sure that I go right into the well here to get the color. And then I'm going into EM 143. Add some more water to my brush. Okay, we're just getting a bit darker as we go down, and then I'm going to go into, well, let's do EM 226. And then I'm going to go into some of these beautiful colors that we have here, the elf wings. Okay, which might have been better on the trunk, but we'll see how that goes. And then this is the angel eyes. Okay, put that in. I think I will do some elf wings down on the trunk, so let's throw that in. And then I really do need some darker colors here. Why don't I grab... Okay, I just got some of this God's Back as well, because it is a wonderful color. With Yupo, sometimes what happens is you find these spots where it's not taking the paint too well because the paper was touched or marred by something. So that's what's happening in that spot. It may not adhere in that spot, but there is a remedy. Apparently you can put soap on it. Sometimes I just rub it with a paper towel and try that as well. But there's a few of these spots where it's not really taking the paint. So the other thing that you can do with Yupo is you can use things like alcohol to spritz things, and as you see there, all of a sudden we've got a lot of gaps in our tree. And we'll continue just filling in. I like this angel wing, so I'm going to keep filling that in over here. It's created quite an interesting effect there. The other thing with Yupo is you really just have to wait and see what's going to happen, because as it develops, it does interesting things. And you can wipe out any parts you don't like. So if you've done something that you really don't like, you can just wipe that off, and I'll show you that as we progress through this painting. I'm adding some more yellow on this side. Okay. I should probably not have my tree look too symmetrical. So maybe I'll go around on this side and add some more dark. Okay. And I should probably go back with some more green. So I'm going to grab some more of that EM 134. Throw that in. Okay. And the other thing you can do with the Yupo is you can just let it paint itself. So let it flow, get the water moving. If there's not enough water on there, you can always give a little spritz. I've got 2 spray bottles. One spray is really fine, so we'll start with that one. And then I have one that makes big droplets. So we'll just see if we can get some of this moving and see what it does. Maybe I'll try to get the trunk moving into the tree more. So let's put some more paint down here. Okay. And then we can just augment that with some water. Get things flowing a bit down here. And I might even just go like this. Get that flowing down. So it's actually looking a little bit like a weeping willow if I go this way, which is not a bad idea. So let's give it a little bit more water at the, around here, and see if we can get it to move down. I've always been challenged to do a weeping willow tree, but I think we might be able to do one here. Okay. And the other thing you can do is just take a brush, let's get a nice skinny one, and kind of encourage it by giving it some places to run into. Okay. Okay. Yeah, interesting. I love how these colors are merging together here. Some of these drips, I want some breaks in them. Drops. Okay, so that looks interesting. And then here is the beauty of Yupo. You don't like something that's there, you just dab it up, or you completely wipe it out. Don't like the way this is finishing off up here, completely wipe it out. Okay, I still think we need more color though. Let's splatter some color into there. So I'm going to start with this. Oh, maybe not the brand. I think I should start with the angel eyes because I love what it's doing there. Okay. And then at the bottom here, we should probably have something to ground it. Or we continue to make roots. We can wipe out this. Not bad. So there we go. What we do next is we wait for it to dry, see what it did, and see how it painted itself. A few more sparkles of the blue over there, the angel eyes, and a few more sparkles of EM407 over on this side. See what that does. Okay, I think that might be good enough for now. We really need to just wait and see it. I've got my paper on a very, very slight tilt. So it's probably, 10% or something like that. Just fix these edges. this bump on this side. Don't really need that. Okay. While it was starting to dry, I did a few more connection of the branches. Really all as I'm doing is I'm just taking whatever paint is here and I'm connecting some of the dots here so that these can come down. Not doing too many, just enough. So you don't want to be manipulating it entirely. You want to see what it does first, and then if you need to go back and darken areas or take out areas, you can. So just thought I'd show you that.